All right, what's going on, guys? It's Chris again from Tech Savvy Agent, and I brought in a special guest today. Darin is actually joining me from San Francisco. How's it going, Darin?
It is going excellent, Chris, as always, brother.
All right, well, the reason I wanted to bring Darin on, and you guys see I was kind enough to give him the larger window of the two, which is a little tough for me to do, but here's the point. We threw a question out there today, Darin, and you got a chance to look at it briefly, but what it comes down to is when you're doing business on the internet, and when a big part of your brand and a big part of your company is built right within the social media realm, it really is very easy to get their feedback and to get their opinions and to take those opinions into account. So the question that I threw out there, and we're up to 80 comments. So let me pop this open. And basically the concept is we're about to launch the new site. The site looks amazing. There are multiple people contacting us about sponsoring the site and wanting to do ads. And we just wanted to throw it out there. Which company do you guys feel like would be the best fit for what we do at Tech Savvy Agent? And we got a lot of passionate responses. Some of them, saying, hey, my company, but some of them were, a little bit more about, hey, why don't you stay neutral, etc. So what are your thoughts on the whole social media realm and trying to do business and monetize that space?
Here's what's happened real quick. We're going to go ahead and give quick props to Gary Vaynerchuk and talk about how real and passionate his content is. And I think when you do non-filtered content and it's so real, it hits the user to the core. It becomes something that it's almost like they have to engage in the conversation because it has become so real for them that they're obligated to get it off their chest, and it becomes this kind of like man, I have to get involved in this conversation. And Chris, you do it better than anybody, brother. So the legacy over currency. We know where the mindset is, and focusing on that. Man, if I'm just real and I let the rest kind of take over, I'm good with that. I'll take whatever negative effect, if there is any. There's a room of 50, and we got two people that might not be completely, let's say, down with whatever thing you're saying. Mm-hmm. Hey, we got 48 people on the good side. We're having a good day. So yeah, it's the realness of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's cool. And I mean, how cool is it? Think about this. If you're an agent watching this, are there other companies that are even attempting to engage this in this genuine of a fashion? Hey, here's what we're thinking about doing. We would really appreciate your advice, and we want to get some feedback from you. And not only do we want the feedback, we listen and we respond and we respect everything that you put out there. So, part of it is flattering. And you can see, if you can see what I'm looking at, D, they're all basically saying what? Hey, Remax, Keller Williams, Remax, Coldwell Banker. They're all going to say that they want their own company to sponsor it. So, number one, isn't that pretty flattering that they even think that these companies would sponsor us?
It's intense, right? I mean, here we are, you and I, living in this exact moment in time right now, and you and I thrive in this. This is what we thrive in. We jump on camera. Now we're living in this moment, and the comments are coming in. And I think that it's one of those mind-blowing, times in our life where there's this whole shift of not just real estate. It's happening in every single market, in every single industry. And I think it's ready to everybody to be exposed. I think it's ready for the complete, who's on the reel. And those are the ones that are going to thrive right now. So we're just kind of putting it out there.
Yeah.
We want you guys to do that.
Yeah, so I think when you get 80 comments, it's because people care. And I don't think people would care if you didn't care. And I think what happens is when you turn on a webcam and you hit record, there really is no more filter. And I think that's what's so refreshing is that we're this close to our clients and our consumers. And I just hope that I see more companies taking advantage of this. I think that one thing I heard Gary Vee say the other day is that everybody's leveraging social media as a space to talk. And really what they should be doing is using it as a space to listen. And I think that we've done a pretty good job of creating user-generated content. Hey, what would you guys like to learn more about? What are some things you're struggling with? What are some things, within social media that you'd like to learn about? And I think that if you take that approach, I think your content's going to be pretty solid because your content is being created by the community at large. I mean, does that pretty much make sense?
Yeah, when you throw something out there, we never know what's going to stick, Chris. When we have our conversations that are very unfiltered, right? And when it eventually gets to the fan page, there's not a lot of filter there on the question, and we really don't know what's going to stick and what's going to generate interest. So it is one of those things where you just kind of in your gut feel that people are thinking the same thing. And man, sure enough, 90 people are pretty darn quick, and they kind of fuel the fire. We love that.
Yeah, well, so let's get down to it. So if we just did a quick count, if we just count the comments, I think that what we would have to do is say that overall we had more responses for Keller Williams than for any other company. So Keller Williams, definitely want to give some props out to them. We also had a significant number of responses from both Remax, Coldwell Banker, and then some other smaller boutiques that maybe just agents that we know from working along the way. But I think the ideas that I liked the best, let me see if I can find one of them here. My man Pablo had a really good point. He said, listen, I understand the perspective. Money is money, but you guys are tech savvy, not KW tech savvy. I think staying neutral would be better unless you brought them all on. So that was a really great comment. And I agree, but in the real world here, we have to have the option of bringing them all on. They may not all be lined up the way that maybe it seems they should be. I think that probably makes the most sense if we could pull that off going forward. Let's try to reach out to not just the national companies, not just the big franchises. There was a comment pretty early on, and it caught my eye right away because Paula Duncan, she didn't say anything. Jacqueline was the first to respond, and she said Remax. And then Paula Duncan, all she did was put a sad face. And I'm going, whoa, and this is like 2 comments in. We're at like 90 comments now. But I went into Paula's Facebook personal page, and I just looked at her info really quickly. And, I found out pretty quickly that she owns her own boutique. And of course, she would want a shot at maybe being a part of this world, which we think is a pretty cool kind of a space to be in. So I think what we should do is have it to where it's a rotating system, but also we will feature any agent and any company that has something relevant to say. And I think that's probably our best bet. And if you look at the feedback, beyond the people that just said, hey, I work here and this is the best one, here's Parley was pretty funny. He voted for KW like 30 times. But I think that we really want to keep the fair and balanced approach. And hopefully these companies will reach out to us, see that we have a lot of passionate people in our community, recognize that there's a need for the space that we've built, and keep it moving. So, any closing thoughts here on this, Darin, before we get this up on the blog?
Yeah. Let's just keep it at that. Every company, whether it's a 5-agent boutique that is just broken off from a Coldwell Banker or a KW, we know that that's happening all the time, and it's going to be up to them to create their own legacy. And everybody has the opportunity to do this. Of course, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Century 21, that rolls off our tongue, and they all have their legacy. And we want to feature that. We want to hear about what makes that legacy special. Hey, we want the 5-person, little franchise too. So what's the legacy that you can bring to the table? And we're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you kind of spending some time with me, and we'll do more of this. If you guys like this format where it's just kind of an open discussion, please give us topics. Tell us what you guys want us to kind of chat about, and we'll make sure that we listen. And I think that was the key. It's not just about the comment. It's not just about the status update. Are you listening to the feedback that you're getting? And are you actually using that feedback when you're making your business decisions? So I think that was kind of the moral of today's post. So thanks for tuning in. This is Chris, also with Darin from San Fran, signing off with Tech Savvy Agent. Thanks, guys.